friend of mine who went to the same church. He was the brother-in-law of a pastor. He and I were kind of the two people in church who absolutely loved science. And while my path took me through college, seminary, and now working at BioLogos, this friend of mine is now an atheist. And a few years ago, I sent him a message and just kind of asked him about, we had such kind of similar starting points, and just wondering how we ended up in such a different ending point. And it was the same sort of thing, curiosity, that he mentioned, that he felt that in churches, sometimes he remembers even from a young age, asking some kind of skeptical question about something he was being told, and being really discouraged from doing that. And he saw the exact opposite in the scientific world. Being curious, asking questions is rewarded. From his experience, Christianity discouraged curiosity and question asking, whereas you can't do science without curiosity and question asking. So this same kind of curiosity that can fuel both communities and should fuel both communities was something that ended up being kind of a wedge between the two. But I think it's such a potential for common ground too, because talking even sometimes with secular scientists as well, it strikes me so much that curiosity still is such a point of common ground. And at the same time, I've thought many times that one of the things that would be most unsatisfying to me about materialism or atheism would not be that it asks too many questions, but that it doesn't ask enough questions. It asks questions only till you get to the threshold of the most interesting and important questions of all, and either says that those questions are nonsense or that they can only be answered if you're going to do it through science. And I think perhaps one way of kind of bridging and reaching out to those people that have had their curiosity push them away from the faith is not to argue against their science, but to try to push the science as far as it can go and see what questions science can pose that point beyond science. And I think for me, that's what led me from wanting to be a research scientist to wanting to do some kind of work in this science and faith dialogue. It's that curiosity is still with me. It's changed the way I think of many things from how I grew up, but it's really led me to see how richly rewarding it can be to work and think about and pray about how we can fit the two together.